Hang on a second. Oh, never mind. Welcome to Stop. Welcome to playing the artist, a show where we talk about just that, playing the artist. My name is Antoine Marchildon. Joined as always is Alex Bedhead McGee.
Yeah.
Alex, how are you doing?
I'm especially brain dead today. I was up kind of late last night, so
I stayed up late too. I got caught in an Instagram hole. I found a page where it's just pimple popping.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. It was really gross, but it was just so fucking captivating. I couldn't stop watching them. It was so gross. I felt sick afterwards. It's like, ugh. Just thinking about it, I feel sick.
Yeah, great. That's gross. How long did you spend on that? Like an hour?
Well, I didn't spend that much time on that, but I spent a lot of time on Instagram, just like, scrolling and just doing dog shit, which I should have been doing, but it happened. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Man, I sleep better. I charge my phone in the other room. I started doing it out of necessity, not out of some kind of attempt to clean up my act or anything. It was just like, for a while, all the plugs were taken in the bedroom. And so now it just became my spot to plug in my phone. And it's kind of nice, man.
That's good.
When I go to bed, it's like sleeping time.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Unless it's business time. But that's neither here nor there. So let's just move along. How was your week? Probably pretty good. I mean, your Kickstarter campaign is, how should I say, the donations are done, the funds are settled. You're getting what you're getting.
Well, the funds aren't settled yet, right?
I guess people could back out, right? Still?
I'm not sure. I think they can they could still cancel that transaction. I think that's what they can do.
Yeah.
But they have to do that through their credit card, I think, or something like that.
Oh, you can't.
I'm not sure.
It's got to be some point of no return because you got to give things to people.
And for sure. Well, no, 14 days will come up, right? And in the 14 days, they're supposed to finish all the transactions on Kickstarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Then people start getting charged, right? But oddly enough, I was surprised how many people's had because it shows you who's ready to go and who's who is flagged for
Mm-hmm.
an expired card or wrong information or whatever.
Yeah.
There's 20 people that just gave me the wrong information or not up to date information on the Kickstarter. And it shows you this person, and then they get informed by their bank or by Kickstarter. I can't remember to fix that. So hopefully all those 20 people get their cards fixed.
Yeah, I'm just checking out your numbers right now. Maybe I'll share it. I don't know why. I just don't know what else to do with myself.
What? No, you don't have to share it. Whatever.
No, whatever. No, it's pretty interesting. Look at this. So this is the 25th. This was only a few days ago. This is the 26th.
Where's your mouse?
Oh, you can't see my mouse? Oh, darn. Oh, that sucks.
Anyways.
Anyway. And it seems like there was a big spike on 27th, 28th.
Yeah, there was a little spike there. The biggest spike was at the beginning, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it goes up. It doesn't ever go down.
Oh no, there's some spots that it did go down. Just a bit.
Oh, here we go.
It reached Oh, you had it on the wrong monitor.
I had it on my screen. Anyway, I was talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Oh,
it shows my updates and stuff.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, but I still have work to do, though, as you know.
Always.
Um,
You don't get to
well,
retire yet, my friend.
no. I mean work for the Kickstarter. Like I'm not out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
Like I
What do
still
you-
have to do all the proper stuff for the pledge manager page on my mini factory. So right now I'm in the process of like making like renders essentially
Ah,
or stills.
I'm done with it.
Yeah, stop that. Renders and stills and whatnot, or just like essentially like I guess not promos, but like advertisements for the pledge manager page for my mini factory. So I have a couple things to do there, and then I got to write down all the price points, and I'll also have add-ons, and which will be kind of cool, and also people will be able to upgrade if they want. So yeah.
Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah, so that will hopefully I'll get that all done. I think I can get that all done for like Wednesday, I bet. Well, no, probably for Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. And once that's all done, I just have to give all that information to the guy I'm working with at my mini factory, and then give him the models, and then wait for the transactions to be complete, and then the bat signal will be sent out. The Antoine signal will be sent out to all my backers.
Yeah.
To go download their stuff, and if they want, they can do add-ons or upgrades. Also, I'll be having late pledges, which is cool. So that means more, more
So
revenue.
people they stumble on your page or whatever, and then they can back at a tier and get whatever.
Yeah. But the tier will be the tier won't be as cheap as it was on the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter was a chance for people to get stuff for a discount. You know what I mean? But maybe for this late pledge, I can put the price up, which I am going to put the price up because.
Oh yeah. Well, what's the price going to be on my mini factory? We thought about like comparing the two because they'll be probably available in tandem, right?
Sorry, what do you mean?
Your models are so the play here is
no. The models individually are not you can't buy them right now. It's only the sets.
Yeah, but you're going to put them up on my mini factory, right?
Yeah. But once those models are up on my mini factory, the pledge stuff is going to be all taken down. The late
pledge. Oh, okay, I see.
All going to be taken down.
I see.
That's what I want to do, anyways. So.
No, that's cool. Hey, Fabrice, how's it going, man?
Yo, Fabrice.
Yo,
Fabrice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so. It's so you do the Kickstarter. I guess your minis are out there. People back them, and then it wraps up, and then there's a period of I don't know, maybe a few weeks, a month, and when you're in the late pledge period.
I think probably a month, I bet, or something like that for the late pledges.
And then you transition into my mini factory, and there you are. And then they sit there and live there forever. And then I guess you could put a link on your page at that point, because it's like what's nice about Kickstarters is they're like those pages sit there forever, and you can go look up past Kickstarters. So
yeah,
you just drop a link to my mini factory.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's pretty cool. Like these models aren't going away; they're always going to be there. And yeah, it's kind of plots like I feel like it's. Also, it's cool to see you do it because who knows?
Also,
we had no idea.
Once you buy the models off of my mini factory, hang on a second. Sorry, God damn it.
Just a COVID attack.
Yeah, COVID attack.
Here.
Corona attack.
Because nobody's heard that joke yet.
Yeah. Anyways, when you buy the model off of my mini factory, if it lives there forever, you can you own it forever. So you can, let's say you mishandled the file or whatever, you just go to your My Mini Factory, and then it'll show your purchases or whatever, I suppose so. And then you can go to that, and then you can re-download it. So it's like it lives forever. It's kind of like Steam, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Cool. It's like unlimited downloads.
Yeah. For the people that have, purchased it.
Dopeness. Yeah, I don't know. Like when I was making my website, it was, I have one digital file on there right now. And it was like, do you want to have, like, there was like a warning against, like, recommending you only do 10 downloads of a file. Apparently it's like, I don't know what the scam is, but I don't know. They were like highly recommending that I limit my downloads to be not unlimited because, like, well, I mean, like, it's like you said, like if somebody pays, I'm like, what do I care how many times they download it? If they paid for that file,
it's theirs.
It's theirs, and I want to update these files if I see something wrong and I want to fix it, right?
Yeah, it's still theirs.
I want people to be able to download it. So, yeah. But I guess, I don't know. I think with a lot of this stuff, there's fear of like bots downloading things. I don't fucking know. But I have it set to unlimited just because I don't know any better right now.
I think you should cancel all that shit and do a My Mini Factory instead.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it sounds like My Mini Factory takes a higher cut of your models. I mean, the fact that it takes 10%. Like 10%, which is higher than
but it's
almost nothing.
It
promotes you and stuff.
Bear with me. It promotes you if you're, I guess, if they want to promote you, right? Because I didn't reach out to My Mini Factory. I was very fortunate that they reached out to me. You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's plenty of artists that are like, don't get featured. So, so it's kind of like I'm sure there's people that have been promoted in the past, and then they did like another campaign, and it just wasn't as, I guess, up to snuff, or I don't know. And they're like, nah, we don't want to promote you or something like that. So it's like, I'm not bankrolling on My Mini Factory to be promoting me all the time now. Like they're only going to be promoting me if they think they can make money, which is understandable because if they make money, I make money, right? So it's like a win-win, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like up to it's my responsibility to make sure that my quality of work is always like my quality of work, and also my presentation. Because I found something, like there's one thing that My Mini Factory has, like they have a really good kind of, like everybody that gets featured kind of has a presentation about them. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, here's a render. It's like, no, here's a render, and here's like a border, and the border's themed, and like the text is themed, and all this. It's like everything's themed. You know what I mean? But it's all themed by the creator. So it's not like you see on My Mini Factory, where like people just like put up the render of like the in-house render in a Thingiverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the blue model.
Yeah, Thingiverse is very much, it's really hard to personalize your page on Thingiverse. You kind of get what you get. Everybody looks the same. And you have some images to upload, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So My Mini Factory is like really about, it's more about, like I was saying, like Steam, you know what I mean? So like when you go to a page for a game, there, like every shot is themed, and then also the text on the bottom, it's like, talks about whatever, and it's just, it's like a
you can brand your page.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah,
I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that might be the way to go. Like, I don't know.
Hey, I could show you this if you want. I'm gonna share my screen. Share screen. It's my first promo. What the hell? Am I not sharing? Oh, here we go.
I have to.
Okay. Yeah, it's my first kind of promo for 30 Days of Tiles.
Cool. Yeah, I remember you sent me that tile a while back.
Yeah, no, this is the done one. The done one. So there's going to be a little bit more writing here. But that's pretty much it. And this will be like a teaser. And the only writing I'm going to have at the bottom is like Forbidden Prince, like my logo, and then plus, and then the logo here of Open Lock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? What about supports? Are you gonna get into? Are you gonna get into that, or just? I think a clean image is nice.
Get into what?
Your whole no supports thing.
Oh yeah. Well, not for this photo. Because I want this photo just to be very simple, and very like 30 days of tiles coming soon. Like, what's that? What is that? I don't know what the hell that is. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put that out there on the world. Put on. I don't know how. I could put it on Thingiverse on the group pages, and also like what's it called again? Like Reddit and all that stuff. I'm just kind of put the little seed out there.
Yeah.
And then once that's once everything's done, then give like official release state, and then more of a description of like what 30 Days of Tiles is, right? And then release it, and then every day have a release, and then meanwhile in the background, busy bee me. Yeah. I'll be working on the next Kickstarter.
Yeah, man, that's the thing to do, because like you got your. I mean, you don't have it yet, but this like 23K or whatever that thing made. That's like basically your budget to make your next Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Yeah. So how far does that carry you? Who knows? But yeah, that's cool. So 30 Days of Tiles, is that your next Kickstarter? No, that's something else. That's like that's leading into the grand Kickstarter. There's a grand thing.
Well, this is the thing though. I want to make a Kickstarter that's more fantasy based, right? More towards geared towards Dungeons and Dragons. But a majority of the people that I have on my Thingiverse page are probably more enjoy sci-fi stuff, because I've only been making sci-fi stuff for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so this is kind of like a push for like to get the word out. Like, hey, I make great fantasy stuff, right? I'm capable of making fantasy stuff, which I have done in the past, but not very little.
Damn. Yeah, I think it's a good play. It's like, I like your whole, you build up the community with like some free models.
But here's the thing though, these 30 Days of Tiles, right? Yeah. On the 31st day, they're all going to be taken down, except for like maybe 2 tiles, and then the 2 tiles will be like promoting just like like 2020's 30 Days of Tiles, because like I said, I want this to be an annual thing, like every year. So I'll have these like, so in my head, this is how I see it. I have like 30 tile sets every year, right? And there'll be a little sample of the tiles of the 30 tiles. Yeah. 30 Days of Tiles. And then that will have a link directed to my mini factory where they can buy the whole set of that event's tiles, right? It'll be more than 30 tiles. It'll be like, because some tiles are a lot smaller, so they'll be bundled in with like 2 tiles or whatever. So
cool.
That's why I see it.
So this year, are you trying to convince anyone else to do 30 Days of Tiles?
No, I don't want. It's more of for people that do 3D printing, not for people that make models. You know what I mean?
No.
No.
Because it sounds like you're trying to do Inktober, right? But for 3D printing, but that's not.
That's exactly what it is, but I think you're thinking about it very differently. This is for people that are. This is what I want it to be. I want it to be for people that are like thinking about getting a 3D printer, but they're not sure. You know what I mean? So at an event like this happens, they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, all these models for free for 30 days. Like, oh, I want to get a printer and I'm going to download these, and then once I get my 3D printer, I'm going to print these." You know what I mean? So to get new people in the hobby of 3D printing, and also get people that have been like on the edge of thinking about maybe purchasing models. Well, this gives them a chance to get like some high-end models for free or for a limited time, right? And to tag along and follow me and check out what else I'm going to make in the world, you know, for your home 3D printer. And what I want is I just want people to print my work and tag me on it. You know what I mean? Like that's the like one of the main goals is like when people put it out there and they say like, "Hey, that's cool. What is that?" And like, "Oh, this is made by a guy named Forbidden Prints," right? Word to mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, let's say somebody has a 3D printer and their friend's thinking about getting them, and he's like, "Oh man, you got all these cool models. Where do you get them?" And he's like, "Oh, I get them from Forbidden Prints." And then so now, someone that's just getting into the field, they're gonna start looking at my work first, right? So
yeah.
that's
something
great
to chat about. Like if there could be 30 dungeon tiles sitting out there somewhere, you know, and it's like, where did they come from? You know, there isn't really anything to say. They're just there. But like if you tied it to this event, then people could say,
yeah, 30 days of tiles. And they're like, "Oh man." And then people say like, "Oh, I wonder what next year's 30 days of tiles is going to be," right? And I already have in my head like all these different themes of different tiles. Like I want to do like a Japanese style one. I want to do maybe like a Victorian kind of like like Battle of Waterloo. You know what I'm talking about? Like those type of you know like their architecture wise, you know, tiles. Like Aztec tiles, probably some space tiles, some other maybe some cool like forest tiles where they're like kind of like ruins with tree roots that are like taking over these ruins. You know what I mean? Like there's so many possibilities. Junkyard tiles. You know what I mean? Where it's just like a bunch of just walls of like garbage and junk. You know?
Yeah. The dungeon tile. It's like a sundae. You just want to try all the flavors. You want chocolate. You can do strawberry, etc.
Yeah. And I'm willing to take the hit and put in the work for like 30 small what do they call it, releases for 30 days. You know what I mean? Because in the long run, it gets people to see what I do and what I'm capable of, and people to join me in this adventure that I want, like my future endeavors, you know, for 3D printing.
Yeah. I guess the one risk is that maybe you know, a month out of your time is like detracting from the time you put into your next Kickstarter.
But here's the thing, though. You've said this many times, where like you need some time to like grow and try some stuff out, right?
You're gonna.
That's what I'm doing with this, right? But then at the same time, it generates. Well, hopefully this is the plan. It generates new followers. It generates talk about, you know, me, which is at the end of the day, like that's like gold. You know what I mean?
I think it's also pretty cool that it's like you're putting something out there under the Forbidden Prince name. That's not just like another Kickstarter. It's like something. It's like
it's an event. Yeah.
It's like you have your like Kickstarter, and then you have this other thing before your next one. So you're not just kind of like pumping them out there, which I think is like, maybe there's nothing wrong with that, but
no.
I don't know. For some reason, it feels, I don't know, feels nice that there is a bit of breakup to like not just the same thing over and over again.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So,
well, what's it called again? Like this one Kickstarter that just happened. It's a sci-fi Kickstarter, and this dude, I think he like puts out between 3 to 2 Kickstarters a year out.
Yeah,
and they're good. They're big. They're very, very big. But they're all they all feel all feel the same in the sense where it's like they all kind of like have the same layout, have the same kind of how he shows off the models. It's like kind of all like it's good, but
there's
I don't
a
know.
sameness, but it's like
it's all rendered. It's all rendered the same. It's all painted the same. Like all of his Kickstarters, you can tell like, oh, that's made by this guy or like his team or whatever.
That might not be a bad thing though.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's probably not a bad thing.
Something to consistency.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably a way better thing actually when you think about it, because like
right away, there's a balance to be had, right? You know, like too much like samey all the time. That can be that can just get boring too.
Yeah,
there's a balance to be had. Like if you're too like, you know, if you're probably too radically different each time as well, you could, you know, lose the momentum you've had off the last one.
Well, I think it depends though, because I want to treat every Kickstarter I do as not just a one-time thing, but something that can grow from it. Like District 0012, I still have like 2 ideas for District 0012 made in the same vein. You know what I mean? So like I think of the Kickstarter like I think of the Kickstarter is like for the 3D printing anyways, can like a lot of times what it is, it's like, oh, some models of this cool sci-fi kind of thing, right? And it's just, and then it ends there, and then the person makes another thingy and another thingy. And they usually look the same a bit and stuff like that, and it's like kind of whatever. But what I want to do is like make a little story, and like there's a theming, there's like a color palette, and then there's like it's almost kind of like chapters. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, oh, this chapter is District 0012, where it's just like this is industrial complex, and then this other idea I want to do is District 0012 Weapons of War, which is just it focuses on like stationary weapons and vehicles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then another one I want to do, which is probably going to be for the Weapons of War, is District 0012 X War Layer. So War Layer is a company that uses this.
It's a fictitious company, or
this is a real company, and they have this they have this actual. It's another 3D printing company, and they have this system where it's these tiles that like slide in, and you can make like these big structures. And it's a very, very brilliant system, and I bet I can combine that system with my system. And of course, I have to talk to them to do this, right? And I would probably have to pay royalties or something like that. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing, though. I know for a fact there's a lot of people that have purchased and backed that Kickstarter where they have that system of the sliding plates of like, and so they can make walls and they can like stack it up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what I would like to do is like I would like to make a Kickstarter where all my existing models and new models can now be compatible with the War Layer system. If you buy this Kickstarter, right? So you get, and then there'll be like a bundle where it's like you can get District 0012, right? Like in a bundle, like the mm-hmm. old one.
Yeah.
And then you can get all the new stuff that could be compatible with your locking mechanism for War Layer. So
sweet.
All sorts of stuff.
Dude, I'm learning something new all the time. I can't believe it. Like, I feel like I spend so much goddamn time, like on Facebook or just like listening to YouTube, like people talk about this stuff, like just this like whole industry, I guess. But yeah,
wait, talking about
like tabletop 3D printing and all.
Oh, that. But also like trying to be a self-employed artist. You mean?
Yeah, and I get wrapped up in a lot of videos on like tabletop crafting, which is really not at all what we're doing. I mean, like,
no, not at all.
Kind of like people taking, making shit out of the real world.
Here's items, the thing, though.
Whatever they got.
More and more people that do that do the tabletop crafting or whatever, they're getting into 3D printing because, but I think they're getting mostly in resin printing because they can be like, oh man, I wish I had a fridge or something or some sort of miscellaneous little tiny thing
And it's also like really hard to craft a mini, right? Like a character. Very few people are sitting there. I haven't seen any YouTube channels where like I'm sculpting this mini out of green stuff or something like that. It's like the crafters I see. They're using
it's all
resin
terrain.
printed. Yeah, they're making terrain.
Yeah.
So,
but there's certain parts where they're like, oh, this is so complex, and this will take like a day of work, or sorry, not a day of work, more like I don't know, a lot of time. But you can like put it in the you put it on a resin printer, and while that's going, you can work on other stuff, right?
I'm sure it feels like cheating for them, like because they're like, I make it out of my hands, I make it out of crap I got laying around. It's like, or stuff from the dollar store, like making a lot out of nothing is like really rewarding. But then they're using a 3D printer which prints a thing for you. It's it's
well, this is the thing though. I always hate that argument. I think that's the stupid argument. Like this argument came up when I was at college. I remember I was using Zbrush, and Zbrush is it's a digital sculpting program, right? And you can get really nice, interesting surfaces very quickly. And I remember I was working on that, and one animator, one of those frickin' animators, came up to me and he said, "Oh, that's like cheating. Like you're not really modeling anything." And I was just like, looked at him like, "What? Like that doesn't make any sense." You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to like. So this is the whole idea when you're trying to, make something or do something. There's a point A and there's a point B, and you're trying to get the point B in your head to look like the point A, right? Because you have the idea in your head, and then you want to try to put it out in the world and make it real, your idea. And you use tools to help you to get to that point in what you're doing. You know what I mean? No person that's making like building a house that's like, oh, we're not going to use power tools because that's cheating. We're going to use hand tools. It's like, what? What are you talking about? That's not the point. The point is that there's something that has to be executed, and you want to execute it to your best, your best, like the best way and the fastest way, and the most accurate way, right? And but having said that, that still takes skill. You know what I mean? It's not just press button, all done. It still takes time and effort and like figuring out those things or whatever. So when people say like, "Oh, that's just cheating," it's just like, no, it isn't. Because if the person's like, "Hey, I need this intricate little thing for my diorama, and I don't have like it'd be pretty much impossible, and I don't have the tools ready for it. But I do have this 3D printer, and I can print this one thing out, and it'll be perfect, and then I'll add it to the thing." You know what I mean? It's like it just adds to your tools. Like people, I don't know. People should think more like a plumber and less like I don't know.
I will say though that like to play devil's advocate on this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The more you do by hand, the more your voice is going to be captured in every step of the process. So like what's a big thing in 3D art, right, is like making a material. If you have like a wood floor, making that wood floor feel like wood. And you can get that for free now. Like you used to have to kind of craft that by hand and like really study the wood and make this wood texture with like that reacts to light exactly like it does in real life. But now like the software comes with preloaded with like default woods that look really nice, right? But and you can use that tool if to get to like the end of having a wood floor in your scene. But if you're like making a scene that is like maybe that wood is featured a little bit more, and maybe you want it to have your own, maybe it's a fantasy thing, right? And you want it to have kind of like exaggerated notches and whatever.
Yeah, but you just kind of just defeated your own devil's advocate argument there. That's what that person's like going for, right? Like that if they're like, this has to be this certain way, and the only way to achieve that is for me to go in and fine tune and stuff like that. Like, of course, by all means, I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying like use all the default settings. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm saying using the tools in a way where you're trying to get to your end goal as fast and as smooth as possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Does the tool support your end goal, right?
Yeah.
Like it may seem close, but it might actually be kind of taking away from your voice. You know?
Well, it depends what your voice wants to be, right? Like if you're like really into handcrafting and it's important to you because you like the handcrafting and you enjoy that process, and you can say, oh, this is all done by my two hands, or this is all done by no power tools. It's all done by hand tools, right? There's people that are out that do that, right? You know, there's some people
they make
that
things by hand, and they charge a lot for it.
But that's a completely different thing, right? Because that's what they're going for.
But
right?
yeah, exactly. Do you want a chair like that, or do you want the IKEA chair that's using every trick in the book to get you the cheapest chair that you possibly can, right? Most people just want the IKEA chair, but some people are like, no, I want something unique that has a voice in my home that you don't see, in everybody's home, and I want that chair to sit right here.
I think we're both agreeing right now on our.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we just talk in an argumentative way. But you know what really, man, I don't know if you, I don't think you're on the latest Zbrush, but Zbrush has this feature now where like when you let your screen idle, it shows you like kind of a slideshow of like some of the art people have made just like recently in the community, and it's kind of cool. Yeah. It's also kind of a pain in the ass when you're just looking at a model with your art director. But yeah, but one of the images that pops up is this it's like this kit bashing kit of like fully sculpted monster parts, like a monster body and a monster arm, and like,
oh, that's awesome.
It's so gross. I hate it, man. It's so stupid. It's like, I don't know. It's like I understand kit bashing, but I think it's just like you're not kit bashing at a fundamental level. It's like you're taking somebody's, I feel like if you're taking somebody's stylized anatomy, then it's really like, I just don't see the use for that beyond being somebody who.
Well, it depends how it's used, though.
Having fun in their mom's basement and like giggling to themselves, putting these parts together. Like
it depends. It depends how it's being used, right? Because like,
how would you use it?
Well, here's an example. That skeleton head that I showed with the 30 Days of Tiles thing. Yeah. That skull was the free skull they give you in the anatomy pack in Zbrush. Because in Zbrush they have all these sculpts, right? Yeah. And there's an anatomy pack, and in the anatomy pack, if you just strip all away the muscle, there's all the bones, right? Mm-hmm. I just took that skull, placed it in there, and then just started moving it around, and then I made it like a cartoony stylized skull, and it looks nothing like the skull that was at the beginning, and I just used it as a base, right? Yeah, but why would you feel about like taking somebody else's stylized skull and just putting it in the middle of your model? That's a little different, right? And that's what I'm describing in that. Yeah. But then that thing's just not meant for you, right? So, no, it's not. So let's say a designer doesn't know much about art and is not very good at it, but he needs some characters. He needs some sort of thing. And so he's just like, oh, I'll buy this kit bashing kit, right? And so I'll buy that. Maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? You'll buy that and then use that as your model or whatever, you know what I mean? Because there's a whole marketplace. There's a whole marketplace when it comes to 3D art, especially 3D game art, for people that are not talented enough or just don't have the time to make for their project, and their projects are games, right? So those tools, those models are really useful for those people, right? for their creative endeavor to their finished product.
Sure.
Instead of like learning all of, a bunch of different software where they don't have a creative bone in their body. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't have a problem with like somebody say buying models off of Turbo Squid or the Acid Store or whatever. Like, buying a product that somebody has come up with. I don't know, but like, it's like an art package. I guess it's like It's
but
not
if someone's taking that package or whatever, and all these like squid arms or like this monster pack you were talking about, and they're assembling something, and they say like, I made this, and they don't credit the person that made the bundle for all that stuff like that, like, that's stealing.
Yeah.
You're a hack.
There's two scenarios here. Either somebody takes the thing, they put it together like you said and take the credit for it, and they're an asshole because it's like, even if you paid for it, it's like you didn't make it really. You plug them together like Lego, or you're I don't know. You are giving them credit, and you didn't make anything yourself anyways. When it's like,
but once again, it all comes down to the individual, right?
Yeah.
And what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah. I guess if you're trying to not grow your art skills and just, like I said, just kind of eat chips and sit at the computer and muck around.
Yeah, then, I suppose so.
Then there you go. If I have a skull, I sculpted out of a sphere. I like Dynamesh sphere, and I just get after it because you're a
better man than me.
I
could do that, but that will probably take me many days.
An hour?
No, it probably won't.
If you sit there with a skull and like study it, I bet you it wouldn't take you days. It shouldn't take you days.
No. You're right. It would probably take 2 days, I bet, for me. I know I'm pretty aware of these days. I'm pretty aware of my capabilities and like my modeling skills, and to break down to try to make a skull from a Z-sphere, like just a sphere, probably, and then of course have the anatomy open on the other screen and like dissecting it and like try to make it as close as possible or whatever. I would say it'd probably take about 2 days because I'm still not like as what's the word I'm looking for? As efficient and as comfortable with ZBrush as like someone yourself like has been using it way longer than me. Like just this.
Well, I didn't get there by not sculpting skulls. I got there just by like doing it like several times.
No, I understand that. And but what I'm trying to say is just like. In my brain, I just can't justify it because like it's just it's like 2 days to just try to get a skull to look the way I want it, or I can get a base of a skull, and then I still have the anatomy open or my reference I want to try to like mimic, and use that as a quick base so I can like move stuff around and then get an idea of try to get the shapes down quick. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I
really think like
I'm tired of fighting with that idea of like I gotta do everything from scratch because it's just like why I can take base models, and then use that just for a base. I'm not using it. I manipulate the stuff to the point where it's not even the same model. You know what I mean?
I will admit that like if you get to the point where you like you show me some art and I can't tell, if I've seen the
or if it looks out of
source,
place.
If I can't tell that's like doesn't fit in. Like to me, when you showed me your model, like it did look to me like everything was in your voice, like in that little like, page there. So, and I mean, it's not to say I don't ever like cheat. Like there's like algorithms in ZBrush that generate like like patterns and fractals for you,
noise and stuff like that.
Yeah, noise patterns, which I find really helpful.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, but I don't know.
But this is the thing, that there is a limit where it gets to a point where it starts tipping off, where it's just like, oh well, now you're just a fucking cheater. You know what I mean? There's a certain point where it becomes plagiarizing, right?
There's somewhere between sculpting every single pore for a skin, like if you're making a skin creature, versus using like a pore like alpha brush thing.
Yeah.
And then there's kind of a gross point where you're kit bashing stuff. Did you see when Olivier he had a model? He made a Star Wars fan model like years ago.
Yeah.
And he just uploaded it, like this is like, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that. And then recently this guy at Ubisoft, who's like sort of a kit bash concept art guy.
No.
He'd taken a portion of that ship and used it in his design, but it was hardly like, Olivier spotted it right away. He was like, that's my design. Yeah. And this guy was like, oh, he just had a library of models that he didn't realize, he doesn't even remember.
That's a little different though. That's a little different.
I think that's the other end of the scale, where it's like you're getting into that gross territory where you're just dropping work into and calling it your work. And, he didn't bother to credit everybody. He had to get called out on it. And it's like, are you like, I guess there is some high level design skills, balancing, shapes and like putting a composition together and, finding things that add to the design, but
yeah.
Well, rub me on
let's stick on that topic for a minute. So he's taking the models and he's using it for concept art to bash in shapes and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when somebody shows you concept art and you're like,
I'm trying to put myself in Olivier's boots here. So
when you're at a studio, when you're at a big studio or any studio, I guess, anytime you're like under constraint for like a production model, you want to just do whatever you can to get that final image that everybody's after. The thing is, usually, like if you're at a big company like EA or something, you're using assets that belong to EA.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels like a bit more
EA,
fair game.
I just want to stop you there. EA is so fucking anal when it came to anything. Like I remember I was doing graffiti for FIFA 2018, and every time I would show my work, they're like, is this all made by you? Is this like these letters right here? Are these all made by you? Did you take this off the internet anywhere? Did you copy this? Did you they had to know like if this was all 100% made by me. And also I did a font for them. I did like the alphabet in like a font generator to like, so they could just like type it out, anything and stuff like that. And they right away they were just like, is this all ours? Is this been ripped off the internet? Like they're very like to like the slightest thing, the slightest like thing that looks like a logo. They're like, that logo right there, like that thing in the background.
Oh yeah.
Is that our logo? Right? You know what I mean? Like,
well, because EA will actually get sued, whereas like some guy in his basement probably won't get sued for just like using random Google images or whatever.
I had two artists have tried to sue EA.
Oh yeah. Well, it's hard to, they're right in everybody's face, right? It's easy target. Yeah. Although, I mean, they probably have a killer legal team that isn't so easy to deal with compared to like the individual. But I just wish people would kind of like take a bit more integrity with that sort of thing. Because
oh yeah, totally. At least where it's like, well, hang on, this Ubisoft modeler, concept artist.
So he wasn't sharing Ubisoft work; he was sharing personal work.
Oh, this is personal work.
Yeah. Because it was Star Wars. It was Star Wars like concept art, fan art, basically.
Yeah.
But it was just a kit bash of a bunch of other people's ideas. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want other people's ideas in my work. Otherwise I would just go to work.
Well, I guess if someone is going to do that, they have to. That doesn't sound like a proper sentence. Antoine is going to do that. I think if someone's wanting to do that, and they do it all the time. People take 3D models and they put them in, their 2D stills and paint over them and stuff like that. They should at least say, like have a little disclaimer saying, I found these models off the internet. That I used Cricut or whatever, and say like, I can't remember the artist name, but if you see something that's yours, just ping me and I'll put you in the description of the post. You know what I mean? Like, take on the responsibility of using the models. You know what I mean? Where it's like, put it out there that you use these models off the internet, and if you wanted to be credited, just ask. Or if you do get the model, just name the model after the creator, right? So when the person puts the model in, he always knows this is the name from the creator, and then you can tag and say like, "Hey, I used these or whatever," right? Because I'm starting to really, it's very true, because it's not just like it's a brush, right? A brush is just like whatever.
Yeah.
But even then, some people will say like, "Hey, this brush pack was made by blah blah blah." Some people do that.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And some brushes
sure.
are even photos. Like some brushes become like a big stamp of a photo.
Yeah. So, no, I'll definitely agree with you on there. Yeah.
Let me show you how crazy I am.
How crazy you are? What do you mean?
Just like I'm also going to just take an opportunity to pimp my work a bit. But this guy I made recently, there's like a skull. You can't even see it, right? You can't even see.
No, it just looks like a circle.
I sculpted this is a skull as well back here. I sculpted the whole skull just because I just didn't want, I could have grabbed that anatomy skull and like put it in there, and there's probably some skeleton ribs or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So you don't even, it's like, it's not even a featured item, but I still want to own it. I just want to, because otherwise, what's the fun in doing it? I feel like
to get to the still that you made.
Yeah, I guess to get there. I mean, get there a little faster.
Yeah.
But anyway, how do I stop this? This is my next character, by the way. So as I said, I was rebuilding my tiers on my Patreon, and that's gonna turn over on Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, so I guess tomorrow. And then I'm gonna give people a few days to pop onto the new tiers, and then I'm going to release this dude and remove the last one, the Deathless Apprentice, who was like a wizard with a book, who's summoning something, and then people can, and then life will go on, and I'll be maybe happier. Probably not.
Don't chase happiness. It's a fleeting thing.
I want happiness.
Yeah, but it's a fleeting thing, man. If happiness comes your way, be thankful and happy about it, of course, but don't be chasing it all the time. It's a fleeting thing. It's like chasing clouds.
Yeah, it's true. So anyway, is there anything else? I don't think there's much else.
Trying to think here. I don't know.
Yeah, Fabrice is onto something here, actually. Like, that's another. He says, "Good thing is you have a skull in your style that you can reuse," and that's like a big justification of why I sculpt little things in the background like that. Is because now it's like, I've got a rib cage, I've got a femur, I've got some other bones. Which,
of course.
And it's like, I can use these for my own library of stuff, and even the whole background, like spending a bit more time on the character background, like that comes in handy when you're like, if I just want to show, like I use those backgrounds on my cards so that my cards have a nice little backdrop, to feature the item in front of. Yeah. So it's like all these things are like little assets individually, even though it may be like for this one image, kind of a bit of a time investment. I spent a couple hours making these bones and stuff just for a few pixels in the corner or whatever. but it's not just me like, lashing myself on the back 50 times, like, trying to purge my sins or anything. It's like actually there's some strategic thought that goes into it. So
yeah. No, it's I totally agree. That's a very good point. But like I said, it's you gotta just think about, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know what I mean?
yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Is it? I don't know. I mean, is it to you? And if that's, maybe that's all that matters, I guess. Somehow it is to me.
Is the juice worth the squeeze? I love that saying.
Me too.
I heard that from, was it
UFC?
Hang on. I think it was a UFC fighter. It might have been Brendan Schaub, but it could have been.
He's talking
it might have been Joe Rogan, to be honest.
Is that when he was retiring from fighting?
No, it's when he was retired from fighting. But
because fighting is a difficult career, and
well, no, but he was all,
I
don't know. He might have been talking to a football player, to be honest. I think they were somebody was talking about football, and I heard that on a podcast, and it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because sorry, going on a tangent here. There's a lot of football players. I think what is it? Is it receivers or defensive? I forget. There's a certain position where the career expectancy is only 3 years.
Oh yeah, I don't know all the football positions.
Yeah, but there's a lot of football positions where like people are expendable, and the reason why they're expendable is because it's like a high risk, high reward position where it's like I think it's a receiver position. I think they only last like 3 years because they get hit and they get injured and they're blowing out knees and they're tearing Achilles and stuff like that. And they're getting concussed because they're getting hit and they're running full sprint. You know what I mean? Because they're catching the ball and then they're just blitzing. They're just running as fast as they can, right?
Yeah. So every time you catch the ball, there's like some dude waiting to like
just make change of you, split a 5. You know what I mean? Just take a couple out of you.
Some guy with daddy issues just waiting to like take out his anger in a way that is like rewarded and socially acceptable.
Yeah,
it's
he's getting paid.
I love it.
So, but if you're a good receiver, you're getting paid millions of dollars, right? However, though, it's only 3 years, right? So
yeah, but the NFL has a good, I don't know about good, but I think better than most average retirement plan. Like you only have to work there you only have to like play a few seasons before you're like in the pool and you can get like you get paid after.
Oh, okay.
It's not like UFC when you're done, and you can't make anything.
Well, no, they're prize fighters, right? That's what that is. They're not unionized or anything like that. They're prize fighters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't have a players association.
Yeah,
like these other sports do.
I think the average salary for an NFL player is like $300,000 or something like that.
Well, no, that's like the starter. That's actually, I bet you that's a low figure.
Yeah, that's the average.
Well, I don't think it's the average. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like
out of all the players that play in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's like the very low end of the spectrum.
Don't tell me you're typing that right now. Damn it.
The average is about 860,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's almost $1 million.
That's about $1 billion in Canadian.
About $1 billion Canadian, yeah. Geez, yeah. I guess that's it for the show. That's about it for me. Like I said, I just got to do some pledge manager stuff for my mini factory, and yeah. I just want to get that all done so I don't have to like think about it, and I know that my backers will be able to get their models smoothly and on time. So once that's out of the way, then I can really like hunker down on the 30 days of tile thing.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited about that. Yeah, and also I'm gonna be getting. Haven't ordered it yet, but I have to do some research
Mhm.
on a camera and maybe some audio stuff, and then also lighting because Antoine's gonna be shooting some videos
Cool.
for YouTube's.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah. So
Of like the stuff you've printed, I guess. Product shots and yeah,
oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
it's gonna be for that too, but also um, I'm be shooting video for like an actual like tutorial for painting my stuff because people have been asking me if I'm going to do a
Mhm.
tutorial on how I painted my work. So
Oh,
I'm going to be doing
nice.
that, and then also like who knows, maybe I'll do like little one-off little like almost like essay styles of like my thoughts about like I don't know being an artist or being a creative person or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. All sorts of
Mhm.
different stuff, or maybe even like a little cool montage of like just me, the process of me modeling something out and then printing it and then painting it. You know what I mean? And then make it kind of like stylized with interesting angles or whatever. And make like a
Yeah.
like a like a like a supercut of like a of just me start to finish of a process.
Mhm. Yeah, I started doing, I'm not filming anything, but I started recording my process with this character, like just as I'm doing different stages of it, just like turn on the screen share or whatever, not screen share, but the OBS capture, screen capture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to get into that too, but gosh,
Yeah, dude.
sometimes.
It is what it is. Okay, we're gonna
I'm
shut.
gonna ask you where I can find you now.
Oh, me? You can find
Yeah.
me on Instagram at Forbidden Prince or Twitter at Forbidden Prince or on Thingiverse if you want to download and print some free 3D models. Forbidden Prince. And yeah. Oh, yeah. And I also have my mini factory, Forbidden Prince. So there's that.
Nice.
There's nothing on there yet, but they will be. Yeah. Yeah. Same old same. Time to now it's for me to move on to more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. New chapter, new day.
Yeah. You, Alex?
Yeah, you can find me at facebook.com/Tiger Skull RPG, all one word, and then patreon.com/Tiger Skull RPG. Those are the two biggies. There's more, but I'm gonna leave it at that for now. You know what I need is like a page. I need to do my website up better because that has. I don't feel like I have a good page that has all my art just laid out nicely. Because like ArtStation has my game art mostly. Facebook
Yeah.
has got all my RPG art, but you got to scroll and or you got to go to the image gallery. But I don't know. It's not super. It's not a great place for it.
Yeah.
So
I think I might make a blog, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Because like, what's it called again? Artisans Guild. That's what they have. So they have like all their other different kind of like social media stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have a blog where it's like that's where they kind of post just like some like actually the blog is like a place where they like post every like place where they post. So like every time they post a video on YouTube, they also mention it on the blog or they'll write a little thing about on the blog.
Yeah.
And if they do a new post on Thingiverse, they'll write on the blog or whatever. So it's kind of like a hub for like all the information for everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll get down to that road when we get down to it. Right now, I got a bunch of other things I gotta take care of. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist, a show where we talk about being artists. You can watch. You can watch us every Tuesday at 8:00 just for the time being because of the quarantine. And if you want to support the videos and the channel, just leave a little comment, maybe leave a like, or maybe even subscribe and hit that bell, and then you'll be reminded. You'll be reminded to watch these two hillbillies try to figure out this thing that we call art.
Mm.
But anyways,
Well
Alex,
said. Well said.
I'll see you in the next one, or maybe even earlier. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be nice. I haven't seen, anyone besides Sam in quite a while in person. Shout out to Sam. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'll see you. Bye, buddy.
Have a good day. Ciao.